Hello everybody, I'm Dakian, welcoming you to my latest update of my painting progress. This is Monday the 1st of August 2016. New month already, how time flies. And I've finished a whole slew of stuff, so much in fact that I can't fit it all into the shot once. I'm going to have to divide it up into two parts. Okay, so first off, we have a couple of just ordinary zombies. These are by Reaper, and they're kind of grotty. These sculpts were difficult to paint in a distinct way because they're rotting corpses, and it's not the sculptor's fault, but you know, how do you delineate different parts in a rotting corpse clearly? That's really hard. So it's really hard to paint them in a way that, you know, stands out, that has clear contrasts. It tends to get a bit muddled, but oh well. With these zombie dogs, it was slightly easier because you could see which parts are fur and which parts are just bone and exposed muscle and the like, and what is the metal chain and collar. And the chain is perhaps a little dark, but you know, I would think the metal would be old and blackened, so that's why it looks the way it does. And here we have not a dog, it's a hellhound. This is a demonic beast, so it should look like it's parking on fire. And here I've made the various spikes, giving them a metallic look, a black metal kind of look, instead of making them bone. I wanted to do something different, and since they're you know, hellspawn, I thought that would work. Let's move some stuff out of the way and move in the lurkers. Now, not much to say about these guys. Here, all the claws and spines and whatnot are clearly bone color, but I've made the skin sort of purplish gray, and painted a lighter red around all the claws and protrusions, just kind of giving the idea maybe the skin is a bit raw there because these things are poking out from it. Thought that'd look a little bit disturbing. This is the only one that has any eyes. And here's the two leaping ones. Let's see. They are posed in a very dramatic fashion. And yeah, they look kind of fun. So I'm going to have to cut here to bring up the rest of the stuff. And so here's the second batch of stuff. There's a grand total of 20 finished minis this week. So in front we have the Reaper undead. We have first these three more spectral undead, the wraiths, where I've sort of gone for different colors, not just gray and black, but tried to have like faded shades of other colors in them to create a bit more interest. And this one has some dead heads hanging there. Not sure the red was the best choice for this one, but works reasonably well. Here we have the whites, who are more skeletal undead, And they had a lot more armor as well, so there's more metallic on them. Not so much cloth or other bits. But they're also, I try to put a few different colors in there. This one has a bit of blue. The last Reaper minis we have this Master Vampire who's well dressed. The back of the cloak isn't that interesting to look at, but something. And a couple of vampire spawn, which also turned out okay, I believe. At least this one. This one, it was probably a better idea to go with these kind of bright colors. With this guy, I went with more muted colors. The green pants work okay, but the jacket and the wrappings around his wrists, I'm not sure if they kind of blend in too much and look too much like the skin color, or if that's the fault of the fact that I went with a sort of kind of ashen skin color to begin with. Maybe it's when you go for this sort of drab undead skin, you really should go brighter with the clothes for contrast, maybe? Not sure. And here's a couple of other non-Reaper minis. This is a Heresy Miniatures kind of Dark Wizard Necromancer type. He's a little bit drab, but I wanted to see if that could be made interesting. And this is a Harwood Hobbies Gypsy woman. Adriana, I think the model is supposed to be called. And yeah, I went with try to go with a little bit more tan skin tone on this one than I usually paint my ladies, because I thought she would be out traveling a lot. But we'll see how it works out. So let's see what's left to do. So out of everything that I've prepped and shown you previously, these three minis are all that's left. And as you can see, they've been started, all of them. It may not look like much has been done, but they are actually well on the way. I can finish these relatively quickly, maybe even today. So I'm going to need some more projects. I need to get started preparing more stuff, and I will show you that right now. And here you can see what's up next to be painted. Started prepping these. These are some zombies from Otherworld Miniatures. It's not the complete, all of the ones I got in that last order that I showed you, because I can't paint that many miniatures all at once, but I picked out a bunch of them here, and pretty much gonna production line paint them. And they've been, what I've done is that I've cleaned off any casting artifacts and washed them in soap and water. Well, washing up liquid and water, as I always do, and dry them out, and I'm gonna base them. First off, I really like these sculpts. They're very detailed. They're very clean casting. There's good variation. These are a variety of different zombie types, both really old and rotted ones, and more, recent, freshly created zombies. And that's good. And they all have, well, most of them have a nice medieval look to them. They're dressed in like medieval peasant clothing, not just generic rags, and that's good. One little boo, this one guy didn't have a tab on his feet for some reason, But I've drilled a hole here and I'm going to pin him to a base instead. With the rest, I am going to use the tabs. I'm going to use the method I sometimes go with of putting putty on the base, pressing them into a basing stamp to get a pattern, and then pressing the tab into that. And then sort of very gently sculpting over the middle portion here and anything around it that gets squeezed out to try to make it all unified and to hide the fact that it's not pinned. I mean the complicated way of doing it would be to cut all the tabs off and put pins in all the guys' feet, but that's a lot of work. Also, these guys are true scale, they're not heroic scale, which means their feet and legs are a little bit delicate for that sort of work. I don't want to do it too much. Doing it for one guy is bad enough. But we'll see how fast I can get these done. And of course, once those are done, I'll move on to the remaining bits of that Otherworld package I received. The Dama-Human Zombies, which, well, there's three of them, one hidden behind the label. We have a couple more zombies, a little bit more advanced models. This one has a separate arm that needs to be attached. Interesting. Probably the only model in this entire box of stuff that needed any assembly. Oh, sorry, no. This vampire needs assembly. He has a left arm that has to be glued on. But I think the mongrel men are all one piece. Looks that way. No, there's a shield. But that's relatively easy. So, yeah. This will be the next batch of stuff to be prepped, of course. Now, scenery-wise, this is what I've gotten done. I've actually finished this whole thingy, the Dragon Fate Days. It's not painted underneath here, but there's no point because, well, there's no point. Now this, I painted this quite a bit darker than I usually paint stone. Not as dark as on, if you look at the cover art, they painted it almost black. And with a lot of blue flames and blue glowing shit. Sorry, runes. I went with green runes and a green eyes on the statues, and then sort of a natural flame color for the fire, as well as the sort of lava pits underneath here. And I didn't glue it together. I can still, let's see, can't do it with one hand, but it is still possible to disassemble, so that's handy. I'm shooting it sort of outside because, let's see, here's a good white background. Yeah, the bronze became really dark, but I decided, yeah, it's if it's a building that's outside and sees a lot of use, it will get tarnished and dark. It's not going to be bright like new. Anyway, hope you like it. My current scenery project I'm working on is in this box here, and at top here we have the wall. This is papercraft, as you might see. The wall sections I have not yet cut out. Here's my cutting board. What I've done is the various floor sections. You can see they are glued onto foam board. I've also done some ladders and a kind of ramp of some sort. Now, this is a multi-level house, so the idea is this, yeah, it's black underneath. This is the bottom floor. This is the next one, and it should be turned that way. And then there's two more smaller sections of floor, room floor on top. So it's some distance between. You can tell here on the wall that that's the first. This white line here is where the first floor should be, and the second and the third. And yeah, it's gonna be a little tricky because these markings are made with the idea that you're using rather thin cardboard to make the floors. And for example, this floor is it's kind of the thickness of this whole beam that's drawn in there. But yeah, I think I'll make it work. And yeah, this is not difficult, it just takes a bit of time. It is time for mail call, new arrivals, whatever you want to call it. The reason my numbers still are barely keeping pace is I can't stop buying new stuff. I got a whole slew of stuff from North Star for Frostgrave, mostly for official Frostgrave minis, but some generic ones like this Banshee, which you can't really tell what it looks like. Oh, there's the head, which is just generic fantasy miniature. And these wolves, why would I need even more wolves? Well, you can never have too many wolves. And well, you can, but for my Ravenloft Curse of Strahd campaign I'm going to run, he has lots of wolves to serve him. So anyway, so the rest of it is the official Frostgrave stuff, but it's still generically useful for fantasy. I mean, the Flesh Golem and the Stone Golem. This could be a D&D monster. The Armored Skeletons. Sure. This is just about the only thing we couldn't... Well, I mean, these are like treasure markers or objective markers for Frostgrave, but I mean, you can have it as scenery in a dungeon. That would work as well. And some more undead, the Wraith Knights. They're cool. More constructs, a sort of wooden construct, and I don't know what this is supposed to be. Cloth golem, maybe? And oh, a vampire. This is a very scruffy looking Nosferatu kind of vampire, and a frost wraith. I don't know what separates a frost wraith from a normal wraith, but there it is. And then we have a large wooden golem. And we have some demons. We have a couple of smaller demons. An imp and mine demon. And the major demon, which is a big beefy dude. This is resin actually with a metal head. Everything else here was pure metal. So that's a good collection of stuff. I'm not sure if any of it is prioritized immediately for me. We'll see. Maybe the undead, because they again could be used for D&D just as well. And you know, maybe some of the golems. I'm not sure. I think there might be some golems in the Curse of Strahd adventure that I could use some of these models for, maybe. Oops. But yeah, we'll see. But until next time. I think next time we'll see each other. I will probably do a midweek ramble this week as well. This will probably be the last week I do one of those for a while. But we'll talk more about that then. But until then, or whenever I see you next time, I'm Dakian, thanking you for your time, and signing off.